Hello, welcome to another video on the channel. I've just finished writing a blog post about steady state. I'm going to embed this video into that blog post. So either you found this video on my YouTube channel or you found this embedded into that blog post, and I'll link to it in the comments. Today's training session is going to be about building power at low rates. Sometimes I see people rowing at low rates, 18, 20, 22 strokes per minute, and they're just not quite getting it in terms of connection and torque creation and power. So today I've designed a training session to help with that. And it's going to be like a power pyramid. We're going to do 5 2-minute pieces with 1 minute of passive rest in between. But we're going to try to keep the power the same for all of those pieces regardless of what the rate is. Or at the very least, try to keep the power at the 22 being a certain amount. And then as we come back down the other side of that pyramid, keeping the split as close to that 22 strokes per minute as possible. So we're going to go 18, 20, 22, 20, and 18. So this pyramid. First, we're going to warm up. I'm going to talk a little bit more about what I'm looking for. Then we're going to get into the workout, and then we'll do a quick cool down after that. So again, thanks for joining. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Please share this video if you found it helpful, and definitely like the video. All of that really helps me get the word out on these training sessions. So in the top left-hand corner, I've got my app displaying a few metrics. We're going to start off with 5 minutes of pick drill, 5 minutes of some paddling with 3x10 bursts in it, sort of working the power up, and then going from there. So I've got my drag factor set somewhere between, it's going to be about 4, so make sure your drag factor is set at your particular preferred level. And we're going to go ahead and start with the pick drill. I've got my heart rate monitor on here so you can see in the screen that I'm about 62 beats per minute. And we're going to go off on the pick drill. So we're going to start arms only on the pick drill, sitting up, making sure our posture is good, making sure we're sitting on our sit bones off of our pockets. And we're going to go and do arms only. So we're going to start for 5 minutes, just warming up here. Very important to warm up before we do anything that's, intense. And then even though the rates are low on this particular pyramid, we still want to warm up well. And even on this warm up, I'm concentrating on good connection at the front end, staying nice and relaxed, connecting fingers to toes, and just really enjoying being on the rowing machine today. I'm looking forward to this one. It's got a real purpose to it. All right, we'll go arms and body in 2. That's 1, 2 on this one, and swing. So we're getting swing from the hip. You can relax the knees a little bit if you've got some hip mobility that needs a bit of work. But what I'm doing is getting that forward body angle from the hips up set early in that stroke. This is the linchpin of recovering correctly, getting stroke length right here by swinging over. Still sharp, right? I know it's the warm-up, but we go off sharp, right? We're not just throwing strokes away. We're making all of the strokes effective. All right, we're gonna go to half slide in 2, 1 and 2 on this one. Time here, sharp. Half slide is about where the elbows about where the elbows are. Trying to get my elbow just above my knee. Time. Good. You can see by my force curve, I'm picking things up well. Nice and relaxed. Good. And we're gonna go full slide in 2. That's 1. 2 on this one, swing. And even now, there's solidity to that. You know, we're about 17 strokes a minute here. Yet, I'm holding about 150 watts. So everything's still tightly connected. I've got time over the knees, setting the body. Good. About 4 minutes gone. Heart rate 107. Now my drag factor's probably a little high. That's okay, I'll leave it for right now. And I'm rowing with rhythm, right? Getting a good send. So even now, I'm at 155 watts. And heart rate's 107. Good. Now when I hit 6 minutes, I'm going to do my first warm-up 10. These are 10 stroke warm-up bursts where I'm going to model what I'm looking for in today's row. All right. I'm looking for length. I'm looking for power and time between the strokes. Here we go. 3, 4, sending it. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good, right? I managed to get my split to about a 2-minute split at an 18. You can see my heart rate 116. For me, I'm in that 65 to 70% of max heart rate. Okay, the next one, I'm gonna go at 20 strokes a minute again, See if I can get a little bit more torque. And see what I can drop that split to. We're just warming up here. All right, here we go. I'm going in 10 seconds. Right from stroke number 1. Here we go. On this one. Send. Good. Just my hat here. There we go. I got 156 on that one. Went pretty well. So that was at 20. The final piece here, what I'll do is keep rowing. I'm going to change this to stroke rate. So you've got my stroke rate on the right hand side. So I'm going to try and hit 22. 18, 20, and 22 are the beats that we're going to hit, the grooves that we're going to get into on these power pyramid intervals. And I'm going to go at 9:30. All right. In 2. In 1 on this one. 22. Pop and go. There's 22. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Cool, right? So what you notice is I was up at 22, 23, but my heart rate's now in the 120s. So I'm really applying force, length, getting connected at the front end, connecting the hands with the foot stretcher, and lifting and going. Acceleration. All right, now I'm back on it. We want good rowing. Sending it. So what we're trying, I'll show you what we're trying to avoid here is rowing at low rates kind of like this, where, you know, there's not, yeah, I'm at 18 strokes a minute, but it's kind of soft and there's not a lot of ratio to it, right? And what I'm saying here is we want, you know, there's not much going on here at 18 in terms of power. But what I can do is immediately switch to this, send. See my force curve? There. There. So, all right, I'm going to stop the warm up there. So there's a difference between an 18 when you're not really engaging, an 18 where you are getting on it, locking. I'm not saying that at 18 on the steady state we should be looking for heart rates in, you know, 80%, 85%, 90% of max heart rate, right? We want to, it's a balance of everything, but the goal on this is to emphasize the need for practices and training sessions that happen at low rate, it's kind of like laying the tracks for a train, right? If you lay those tracks well at 18, 20, 22, when the train that runs on those tracks goes at high rates, when you're going full, you've built a platform here to progress from, right? And so the training plan should be lots of this low rate, steady state, 70% of max heart rate, good rowing, not just kind of loose and inefficient rowing, but good solid rowing at that. And then we can start to build in pieces that are 24 strokes per minute, 26 strokes per minute, right? Work on those, come back to your foundation, lay some more good tracks, and then go back to 26, 28 and just work through the course of a training plan, building that stroke rate and holding that technical model together. And that's the goal, right? That's a well-designed training program, okay? So I'm gonna grab some water. I'm gonna set the workout. So if you wanna stop the video at this point, once again, we're doing 5 2-minute pieces with 1 minute of rest in between each piece. So this is gonna be a total of 15 minutes. And you could do this twice if you wanted to, but I'm gonna do it once for the purpose of the video and talk you through it, and you'll see the metrics on the screen as we sort of go through and do this workout. So stop the video. I'm gonna set my app up with this workout, and I'll see you on the other side of the pause. All right, so welcome back. And so what I've got is the app ready to go. We're doing a rate ladder with constant power. We're gonna do this once, 2 minutes, and then a 1 minute sort of passive rest, some light paddle times 5. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and program this in by clicking on this workout. Let's hit this start training button here, hit that, and sync up with the monitor. And now we're programming the monitor with those intervals. I've got my drag factor set a little bit higher. Normally I'm somewhere between 4 and 5, but I'm pushing it up to 6 here because I want to create some torque. Choose what you want to do with yours. I'm going to swipe right here, and you're going to see the interval screen here with my heart rate on it, so you can see, so we can see as we go what my pace is for each 2 minute split. Okay, and so hopefully that's helpful. And my heart rate is on the right hand side right now. It's 79%, so it's in active recovery. Okay, so here we go. The first piece is 18 strokes per minute. Then we take a minute, 20, take a minute, 22. And then we come back down the other side of the pyramid on the 4th and the 5th one. And my goal here is to try to hold the split that I got at 22 at the 20 or the 18, or as close as I can get. And that's going to emphasize using power per stroke to maintain the power going into the machine and during the stroke. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start at 2 minutes at an 18, and just making sure. Let me put my mic on here. Bear with me. Here we go. Don't want that falling off halfway through. Looks good. All right, here we go. 2 minutes at an 18. 3, 2, 1, go. Right from stroke number 1. Here we go. Sending it. Trying to get some length. Good. Really sending in the power here. Pushing the machine away. Suspending my weight. Good. Trying to get a little bit of weight off that seat. Heart rate 121. Stay long. So, yeah. There we go. Okay, so the overall pace for that was a 159. I did hit, you can be passive here. I'm gonna keep moving lightly. One arm rowing. Do what you want, you can be passive, recover. So I hit a 159.1 on that. Now we're gonna go to 20 strokes a minute, see what kind of torque we can create. Again, we're limiting the stroke rate here. So we have effectively decoupled power with rate. You don't need a high rate to get lots of power. This is the foundation of your pyramid. Build your house on solid tracks. Here we go, 10 seconds. This time I get a couple more beats. So let's see if I can get another second off of that split or so. Here we go, on this one. There we go. Right from stroke number one, attacking it, but controlled. Sitting up, sending it all the way through. Yeah. Good. $129 heart rate. All the way through, every stroke. Come on. Sitting up. Good. There we go. Okay, so I went up a couple of beats to 20 strokes a minute, and I was able to get to 155. Good stuff, right? So, you know, those of you, trying to break 8 minutes, here's the bedrock for that. Create the split you need at the low rate, so when the rate comes up to 26, 28, maybe the emphasis is, a little less power per stroke, but you've built that foundation, right? Right now I'm just trying to max out for 2 minutes. Okay, 10 seconds. Here's the top of the pyramid, 22. Get a little bit more leeway to drop that split. Let's see what we can do at 22. Boom. Stroke number one. 22. Holding 153s. Good, sitting up. Good. 30 seconds. Length and power. Come on. All right, there it is. So, at the top of my pyramid, within the rules, and the rules are 22 and no higher, I got 527 meters, heart rate 137, I think it topped out at, and I got a 153. Now, I don't know if I can hold a 153 out of 20, but I'm gonna try. So as I come back down the other side of this pyramid, grabbing some water, suggest you do too, I'm gonna try and get as close to 153 as I can with 2 less strokes a minute. 5 seconds. Here we go. Attack it from stroke 1. Go. Yeah. Pretty good so far. Yeah. Let's go. Stick within the rules. $20. 138. Heart rate. Go. There it is. Okay, so My fourth one was a little bit slower than at the 22. My heart rate, 141 at the end of that. So again, if you're rowing well, you can drive that heart rate up on these kinds of things. And that's telling me I'm in UT1 out of 20, right? So the last one is at an 18. I'll see what I can do. I've basically got 36 strokes left, so do you, to try to hold that split down and get ratio and power as best I can. 3 seconds, 2, 1, go. 18. Yeah. Strong on the footboard. All the way through. Send it. Heart rate 136. Yeah. Thirty seconds. Stay long. Every stroke. Here we go. All right. So that now saved to my system so I can analyze it later. But suggest keep moving. It's a good one. I came in at an 18 at about 155 and change. So about 3 to 4 seconds faster than my first. So even though I didn't hold the 153 at the 18, I'm learning something about creating connection and acceleration and maintaining control. And that's the goal. So if you're looking for some intensity and you think you have to go 28, 30, 32 to find it, I would encourage you to do this training session 2 or 3 times and find the intensity at the low rate. Because if you lay the track and the bricks at the low rate, imagine what you're going to be able to do when it's 2K day or 1K day or 500 feet, whatever day it is. You're going to be able, now notice I am going light here, I'm recovering. So, you know, I'm not suggesting in this video that this is how you steady state all the time, but if you're sitting at 110 beats per minute and you know your UT2 zone is 125 to 130 beats per minute, This is how you're gonna drive your heart rate into that zone by better biomechanics, better technique, okay? So, I'm gonna weigh up here. If we look at the data here in this system, go to that workout plan and look at the splits down the bottom there. I went 159.0 for the first one, 155.8 at 20 strokes per minute, 153.6 at 22 strokes per minute, and 153.8 at 20 strokes per minute, and 155.6. And I guess I failed because I was at a 19 and the goal there was to be at an 18. So I came in a little bit too high for the 18, but you can see at an 18, my ending heart rate was 153, which is comfortably in my UT3 zone. Might be argued close to my threshold with a maximum heart rate of in the 170s, 175 at this point in life. So I would suggest at this point, I'm going to end the video. Thank you for joining, but I would say do 5 to 10 minutes of light rowing. Get some of that lactic acid out of your system. Get a good stretch in, and so forth. And like I say at the end of most of my videos, I really enjoy doing these kind of workouts. It keeps me honest, keeps me going on the machine. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video. Love it when people share my content. Leave me a comment if this was helpful to you, or whatever your thoughts are. And remember that I'm always available through my website for personal 30-minute free consults to talk about where you are with things, if you're interested in coming on board for an individualized plan and really want to move forward with that vision for what you want to do with your performance, and how you want to approach life, whatever that is, whether you're trying to row an ultra marathon or you're just trying to get to the point where you can row for 10 minutes. Like all of this, I cater to anybody. I don't really specialize. I've got a unique tool set that helps me work out solutions for these problems. So I also have plans on ErgZone. If you're so inclined, please purchase a plan on ErgZone. If you feel like you're getting some value out of the videos, got to keep the lights on. These things cost, as well as the website. So anything you could do to support me in a coaching capacity will be greatly appreciated. And if you're not available to do that right now, that's okay as well. All right, you're all welcome. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.